T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me. I wanna
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.
And usually it does.
What up, brethren?
Listen, what's up, brother? What's up, audience? We back. Hey, welcome to March.
Dang. Golly, what happened to February?
You know, they always trying to forget about the black folks, but
Right on.
right on. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help the Podcast, giving you that relationship talk you can relate to, the good, the bad, the alimony. This is season 6, episode 9.
Sheesh.
Bro, talk about faithfulness, bro. We've been here.
And we'll continue to be here, bro. Things, you know, sometimes there's some hurdles and some obstacles, but I feel like this year, at the beginning of the year, we kind of set a precedence. Not to say that, you know, we're making it mandatory or we have to do this, but just to be more, like you said, more faithful into, you know, the podcast and really, you know, if this is something that we believe in, treating it as such, you know what I mean? I feel like, I know you and I can see it, and I'm sure the viewers, by the amount of views we've been getting and, you know what I mean, certain clips that are being commented on and things of that nature and the exposure that we're getting, you could just see the difference, bro. You can see the difference.
Listen, it is, man. We just keep showing up, man. When I used to teach the boot camp for my mom's group, I used to always tell them results are inevitable for those who show up and do the work.
Yep.
Right. So if you practice consistency through your integrity, the outcome is that people will see that you are solid and reliable, and whatever your service is or whatever your resource is or whatever your product is, it will begin to find place in their heart and in their minds because it's a consistency and it's a reliable, even if it's something small. So
yeah, that's true.
So now we got somebody new watching today. Janae Daniel 222. She kind of cute, bro. I think you should holler.
I'm right.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
Listen, I'm holler at her.
All right. Girl. Yeah, Carrie, what's popping? Listen, man. Listen, tonight, man, we're ready to get into it. We had an opportunity last week for those who were here to celebrate anniversaries, right? We did a 1-year anniversary for the Daniels, Forever Daniel. Janae and Mike got married last year on the 22nd, so we got a chance to celebrate that. People appreciated seeing her on the episode last week.
Yeah,
so
man.
There'll be some more of that. Talked to her before the show. She said she got to swoop her hair and everything will be good. So, well, just tell her, let me know when she get that done. Besides that, we're going back to our regular format. We're going to start with a quick check-in of favorite part of our week, and then we're going to get into some of your favorite videos, memes, and posts from the week and have a conversation. I was about to say have an altercation.
Sometime. It's fine. Hey,
With
listen,
the
wherever the
audience.
show leads us, bro, I'm
We
willing
just
to go
here
there.
to entertain people.
You know what I mean?
So let's go ahead and get it started, man. What was your favorite part of the week?
Man, so I had an idea what I was going to say initially, which I'll just say it anyway.
Hold on, pause. Just real quick. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that.
Yeah,
but
no, you're good.
Carrie said, Janae, girl, you are such an inspiration. Thank you for being you.
I be
Come on, man.
telling her the same thing, bro, because especially in the gym when she
Factual.
outlifting every woman in the gym, damn near.
Factual.
Nah, so I got two. So my first one was for me and Janae's anniversary. I bought her this coupon book for wives, and it's like, you know, breakfast in bed, shower together, like a whole bunch of 50 pages worth of coupons that she can give me, and no matter what, I have to redeem these coupons when she gives them to me.
Yeah.
So she picked one, and it was recreate our first date. So as a lot of the people that have been watching the show for a long period of time know that our first date, well, the date wasn't terrible, but we went to the movies and she picked the worst movie that you could possibly pick, which was Men in Black. It may have been like 9 or 10. You know, no celebrities in the movie, just all C-list actors.
Wow.
No, I'm fucking around. No, but so to my point, Thor, Chris Hemsworth was the star of Men in Black 5, I think it was.
I did not know that.
So we didn't either. So we go see this movie, which was an amazing movie called Crime 101. Guess who stars in it? Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, that's
Nigga,
good.
We was in the theater, minds blown. Nigga, like, wait a minute. Because it wasn't planned, but it was just, it went so well. So we did that. Afterwards, we again, if most of you know, after our movie date, our first date, we sat and talked to like 3 or 4 in the morning. We did not talk to 3 or 4 in the morning this time because we were both old. But we did go eat, and we were at the dinner table. We talked about, you know, what we're trying to build as a team. You know what I mean? What is our future looking like? And just had a real dope conversation. So I think that would be my number one highlight. My number two highlight, brother, just came about 30 minutes ago. I don't know, and these people we're not being sponsored by Wendy's, but I don't know if y'all have had these Wendy's chicken nuggets. Stupid.
They've been fired for decades, bro. You just now getting known.
Just now. So, because
one question, bro.
Yes.
Are you ready to dip your French fries?
No. I'm not dipping them in ice cream.
You gotta dip your French fries in the soft serve.
If I see you do it, I'll do it.
All right.
We're gonna go to Wendy's one day, and if I see you do that, I'll follow suit for sure.
Wendy's been my spot forever, man.
Yeah,
I'm happy y'all did that, man. That was, I asked Mike if he was gonna cut his hair and go back to, you know. Did you end up wearing the same outfit you wore on the first date?
So I asked her about it. She couldn't remember exactly what mine was. So thank God, because you know, who knows what I was wearing back then.
You was fashionable. It was a first date. I'm pretty sure you was.
For sure, my guy. For sure. Nah, but
man.
It was a good time though, bro. We just chilled, and like even today we were just laughing like, man, it's pretty cool that we have this like legitimate friendship as the base of our relationship. I think this is what has helped us to carry the relationship this long. When you know we were going through what we were going through, you know, had we not had that foundation, had I not really shown her who I really was and the type of man that I was trying to be, and the friendship that we were able to build, we may not even be here. You know what I'm saying? So we were on the couch today, just laughing, chilling. Our internet, there was a power outage over here, so everybody's internet was out. So we were just sitting there, just laughing, talking. No need for the TV to be on, and still be able to enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was good, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I was having a conversation with one of my friends this week, and we were talking about the difference between people you can be around if there's an activity happening versus the people you can be around, and just their energy together is all the activity that you need.
Bro. Yeah,
and that's something that you got to be grateful for. That's a blessing.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, brother, your turn.
Man.
Highlight.
Oh my.
Dang. My. So many highlights, huh?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what did I do with my life. I rested yesterday. This week was good. I think one of my highlights is that this week I got back to journaling.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of my highlights. I got back to journaling this week, so I'm grateful for that. Not only did I get back to journaling, I actually read one of my old journals and started to see what I was writing about, and I'm like, yo, I got so much in there to still eat on.
That's good.
So I think that a part of my routine, I'm about to add in just reading a page or two out of my old journal because I was in that zone, right? Stuff I didn't want to forget. And this is from like 2016 and 17. I
Wow.
got one I'm gonna pull out that was from like 2009 or 10.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to going back. 'Cause I'm in a season where I'm looking for something.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm pretty sure I found it. Just gotta remember where I put it. And it's
Hey,
probably not
you're welcome, brother. You're talking about this brotherhood, man. Listen.
tonight. Yeah, I just want y'all to pray for me as I deal with this nigga tonight. Ray, what's going on, man? Listen, Ray, we didn't talk to Pookie, your manager, about getting you on this show. we didn't heard your excuses about a camera and mic, bro. We don't get you on here, bro. You don't need all that.
Facts. let me ask you something real quick, bro. For people that, because I just recently, honestly, started dabbling and journaling per my therapist. But for somebody that has been doing it as long as you, what would you say are like maybe the top 3 benefits of just sitting down and journaling? And then, you know, some people like me, I had a big question like, where do I start? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, the first benefit is a brain dump. Everything, well, most things make a lot more sense on paper. The second thing is that I think you actually get a chance to be your own sounding board. You get a chance to see the duality of who you are. You're not just you can once you see it written down and kind of mull it over with yourself, like you can give yourself some really outstanding advice.
That's good.
And 3, I think that it's a way of marking milestones along your journey. And when you reflect back on those, it has a way of either encouraging you or helping you remember what your true north is.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think those are 3 big benefits. And if you don't know where to start, man, I would say you can always get a journal that has promptings in it.
Interesting. I never thought of that.
Yeah, they have journals that have a prompting where they'll let you say, hey, answer this question or these 3 questions, or they have some that are very detailed too. But get one that has some promptings. Yeah, it's all good. You get started. When you're ready to move on to your own thing, do your own thing.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That's solid. All right.
Man. Ferg Marv is on Instagram. She said it's so important to be friends with your spouse. It's important to actually like one another.
It really is, man. And I know that sounds funny to some people, like how you not like your spouse, but I've known people that have not cared for their spouse, like, she's cool, or, don't want to go inside because they don't want to have to hear their mouth, or, you know what I mean? All kind of stuff. So I really think it is a blessing, but I also think you have to be, you have to do it on purpose. You know what I mean? It ain't something that sometimes that you always gonna feel like doing, always gonna want to do. But I feel like you have to be conscientious of, like, this is my guy or this is my girl. Like, let's have these conversations, let's talk, let's have fun, let's do all the things that I would do with any other homeboy or homegirl.
And I think that a lot of times we have heard people have struggles in their relationship about, oh, I wish my partner would open up to me more.
Yep.
Or, what I'm saying? Or I wish that, they would talk to me about X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
It's crazy how those conversations are happening with their friends. But the lack of friendship between the two of you is the reason why there hasn't been an environment created for that kind of communication or honesty to come forward. It's such an interesting dynamic, and I know that when people say friends, they don't always mean the same thing, but it's always a conversation I enjoy diving into.
Yeah, for sure.
Beside the point, I want to put this up real quick. This is really good. Rashonda said that journaling, I would add that it helps me better communicate my feelings. That's a big one.
That is good.
Yeah, that's really big. Yeah.
Solid.
That was, yeah. Oh man. All right, you guys, listen. Tonight,
oh shit,
I think that I was in the gym today and I'm in a mood, man. I'm in a reflective space, man. I've been thinking about some things. I've had some time and I've been really thinking about some things. So I think we'll see if Mike doesn't provoke me, but I feel like tonight's going to be very thought provoking and deep. You know what I'm saying to you? But who knows what mic is on? Y'all should have heard him behind the stage when we got started. So
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna start with something light. It's light, but it's also serious. So I'm looking forward to hearing y'all feedback on this.
The next turn on trigger, and I'm getting hot just thinking about it, is one I call chore play. Those of us who are really into chornography, which means the arousal that we get from watching our partner do some shit that we didn't want to do or need some help doing. It's not just a funny word, it comes with some real scientific backing. Mental load and chronic stress suppress desire. When somebody is in task management mode and feels overwhelmed and overloaded, this releases cortisol in the system, which makes it nearly impossible to get to a state of calm and connect, which calm and connect may lead to arousal. So, by helping that person out by taking some things off of their plate, for many people, capacity is required for desire, and the more help you get, the more capacity that you get, and in turn, the more likely it is that you can downshift into a state of calm and connect, and potentially arousal. Want to know if this is your turn on trigger, or maybe if it's something different? Go to loversbyshan.com, look for the resources section, and take the turn on trigger quiz.
So let me tell you guys why I chose that video. One, I love a twist on just words and how it ties back into psychology. But I remember on Tuesdays, if it girls you know who know me and Mike have our brother time, our accountability time on Tuesdays. And I remember, bro, asking him how's the marriage going. And I remember he there was a season where he was so adamant about taking things off his wife's plate. Even the smallest thing that I can do, I'm gonna do this. And I started doing that and I took it from her and I did it. And when I saw this video, I was like, this would be a great opportunity for us to have a conversation about this. What do you think about chore play, brother?
You know, that's so interesting that you just brought that up, because I feel like when we talked, whatever Tuesday that was, I feel like in that time frame, I did feel like it was going to be a season, but I feel like the season that it is just marriage. You know what I mean? It's just the season of marriage, man. That, you know, when you see your partner, she got even if it's like carrying something in the house. Even today when we went to Costco, she's trying to lift waters out of the basket, and everybody that knows Janae, she not listen. I'm gonna pick these heavy ass waters up. I'm gonna put them in here, no problem. But just like being able to, nah, I got it. You relax. You know, chill out. I got it. I'm standing right here. Just being able to be that for your partner, I think it takes that relationship to the next level, man, because one thing that it does, at least for Janae and I, is it shows appreciation. You know what I mean? I appreciate that you even willing to try to even pick this water up. You might break a nail. You might, you know, hurt yourself. It's heavy. But the fact that you even willing to try to get in there and attempt to lift it, man, it goes such a long way. And it just shows like the value that your partner sees in you, that they want to lighten your load. You know what I mean? And I feel like it does something for the relationship when both parties, not just man for women or not just women for men, but when both parties are trying to lighten each other's load, when it is time to finally unwind, chill, settle down at the end of the day, it's like, it's all appreciation. So you love bombing the person because damn, you know, you've wanted to do this for me and lighten my load. I've wanted to do this and lighten your load. So, you know, by the end of the day, everything is good, bro.
Man, I love it, bro. I want to talk more about it, but we got some things in the chat. McJellin said to show complete regard is so satisfying to me.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Rashonda said something about she had a Navy man with some meat, a man in the Marines that has some meat, and she still love him.
Oh, that sound like Rashonda.
I dated a Marine. I dated a Marine, and he had some meat. She got it.
Yikes.
Rashonda, what do you tell us? What is happening? Rashonda been sipping on that sauce tonight.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh, my bad. She said he was neat. All right. She's still in love. You know, I've heard that women love a man who keeps a neat environment, be it, you know, car, house, face, like clothes. They love environmental hygiene. when it
Yeah.
comes to a man, and I wonder why that is. I mean, to the not just the point of, oh, I like that, to the point of possible arousal.
Yeah, for sure. And forget all about what the man's face looks like.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I've seen it. Like they may not be too attracted to his face, but he's clean cut, got on a nice looking suit or whatever he's in, but it's neat. It's in line. Shoes are clean, nails are foul, nails are clean, teeth are white. Man, that goes a long way. Smells good.
Yeah.
You don't got to look like much.
Listen, Mike, be careful, Reggie, because Michael tried to hook you up. Reggie said, I ain't a Marine, but I play in that water.
Rashonda, you heard him.
Like, March is a different kind of month. Everybody ready to shoot their shot now that Valentine's and passed.
Listen, I ain't got to buy no gifts for a while.
This is good, man. So Ali said, absolutely. It's so sexy to see a man mowing my lawn if I'm in a relationship. Interesting. Pook, here come Pook. We forget what his face looks like. What now? Yo.
Jeez. That's crazy.
So let's talk about this for a little bit, because I think that somebody said it best. I think it was your wife. She said, I think this should be a main focus. How do we lighten each other's load daily in all regards, right? And so when I'm looking at it through that standpoint, I got a question for you, because I think from face value, everybody's like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's some nuances to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a situation where you're trying to lighten the load and one person loves it so much and they're so engulfed by it so much and they haven't had this before that it doesn't register in their mind to reciprocate it. So what do you do when the person whose load you're trying to lighten doesn't play the game with you? Do you get upset because they're not doing that? Or do you say, hey, I'm doing this out of love anyway? Or is there an awareness that everybody needs to be operating in? Because at some point, if that is not appreciated, will it just go away, even if the person just loves doing it?
Right. So here's what I'll say from my standpoint. Whenever I'm doing something for Janae, as far as lightening load, how can I make life easier for you? I'm not doing it to see anything in return. I'm doing it because that's what I want to do. I'm not looking for her to do the same for me. I'm not looking for any reciprocation at all. That's not what it's about. I feel like when people start looking for reciprocation, then that kind of takes the authenticity out of it, because now it feels like you're doing this because I'm doing this. But what if I stop doing it? Are you going to still do it, or are you going to stop too? Now we in a whole different realm. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm working with that.
Yeah.
So you got a person who is lightening the load of the person that they're with, right? Another person just standing back receiving it. Another person who's doing it is not doing it for any kind of accolades, any kind of appreciation. They're doing it because that's how they show their care.
Right.
Per se, right?
Right.
Is there anything to be said about if a person is the kind of person that wants to lighten the load of the person that they're with? Again, if they don't get that back in return in a relationship, but they do get it in other places.
I feel like I feel like if reciprocation, or if return, or if you want to see something that your partner is not doing, then you need to probably just say that to your partner. Don't just communicate it. Don't just assume that, oh, I'm doing this, so why wouldn't they do it? I do the dishes every other day, so why wouldn't he or she want to pick up the days that I don't do the dishes? Or if I'm cooking on Monday through Wednesday, why wouldn't tend to get you in a whole lot of assumption?
I like that, man. I think that, again, it comes back to communication. When you're talking about these charitable acts, these acts of kindness, even in dating, in a relationship, in a marriage, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that these are just unwritten rules that everybody understands. And I remember one of my friends talk about the unwritten rules a lot. And I'm like, either unwritten rules or what is the other one? Non-spoken or something like that. Like, listen, no, say it. Because everybody don't come from the same culture. Everybody got different norms. And so for me, I'm wondering what's that, and I'll let you answer too, bro. What's that thing that if I see someone doing, it's like chore play for me. It's like, and it's lightening my load to a degree to that this is not just attractive to me, or this is not just helpful to me. This is attractive to me.
I know what mine. I know what mine is for sure.
What is yours?
So as you know, I have a shit ton of clothes. Like I could probably go for like 2 months and not have to wash clothes, wash drawers, wash nothing. I got just a lot of clothes. So when I wash, what I tend to do is try to tackle it in sections if I can, but I'll put them on my side of the bed. So when I see that I come home from work or I come home from the gym and all my shit that was on the side of my bed is folded and I didn't ask you to fold my
Interesting.
come on, man. And I feel like it's the thing for me, and that's what it is. I feel like it's the things I don't ask to be done that get done that kind of is a little bit of a turn on. Like, oh, shit, okay, you went ahead and all right. And you didn't have to? Oh, all right. The extra 2.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I was wondering if
Golly,
this
you can do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Okay, I was really trying to think of something that's just like, yeah, this is my answer, but per usual, I got a little twist on mine.
All right.
So I love to take care of,
Yes.
right? And I love to just kind of lighten the load. I feel like I have the capacity for it. I feel like it's my responsibility. All those wonderful things.
Yeah.
So for me, the thing that I like to see is you making it easier for me to take care of you.
Okay. Give me some.
Don't fight me on it. So if I tell you I want to take you out to eat, know the restaurant. If you know the restaurant and we ain't got to spend 10 to 15 minutes going back and forth, if you can be decisive about the options I gave you, for me,
Yeah.
that just goes from being helpful to being attractive, because in my brain, it registers as you're helping me not waste unnecessary energy and capacity on a back and forth that is just pointless. If you would just say, here's what I want, when you don't require me to read your mind in unnecessary moments. Sometimes it's good because it can be surprising, it can be enticing, all kind of stuff, but there's certain moments where it's not absolutely necessary, right? If you know that when you come home, I'm going to want to rub your feet, and when you get on the couch, if you come in and there's a whole bunch of stuff to do and you still choose to sit on the couch and take your shoes off and just sit there and wait for me. Because you know that's what I want to do for you when you walk in. You see what I'm saying to you? Like, it's like, for me, the thing that goes from helpful to attractive is you participating in me caring for you.
That's good.
The last thing I want is for me to want to take care of you or to initiate taking care of you to be a struggle.
Nice.
That's all. Ah.
Nice.
We're trying to say, I love how simple men are. Listen,
simple Simon ass niggas, boy.
What you think about that, bro?
About what? Men being simple?
No, bro. Just my idea. Is that a legitimate
answer
to the question?
It is, bro. It is, because knowing the type of guy you are, I know you put thought. You're not gonna just throw out any random BS. I know you put thought into it. I know you put time into it. I know you probably then read 1 million Yelp reviews on all 4 of these restaurants. So I definitely understand why. Hey, I saw the restaurants you sent me. I think I want to go to this one. I can understand why that would be such because what it does is it relieves the pressure off of you. It relieves the tension off of you. It makes even the beginning stages of planning the date flow so much smoother. So
and for me, bro, that's a big deal, because I take pride in the things that I feel like are my responsibility or things that have been assigned to me. I love to see the things that God has called to me do well, whether it's a plant I'm taking care of or a person. You know what I'm saying to you? And so for me, like, I've had women that I've been interested in and whatnot, and we're going somewhere, they'll walk to the door of my car and just stand there. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying to you? There's just, and I want to come up with something bigger, like, oh, when she cooks for me or when she rubs my neck, like this just happens. This is much bigger.
That's solid.
This is much bigger for me, man.
That's solid. Yeah.
What we got?
And the beauty of it all is we all have our thing, right? That gives us those kind of feelings. You know what I mean? And it don't have to look like nobody else's. What you got?
And speaking of nobody else's, my mom is on here talking about the
Hey, Mom.
chore play that she loves to see her partner doing that moves that from being, oh, he's helpful to he's attractive. It's vacuuming lines in my carpet. Mom loves lines in her carpet. She sees a man putting lines in her carpet. She might mess around and propose.
That's pretty good. That's an art form, if I'm being honest. That ain't no easy task.
As it is, bro. My mom trained us as children to put lines in our carpet, and then
that's pretty good.
I'm not gonna tell you because she's online. You know what the punishment was if we didn't do it right.
Jesus.
Hey. One Ling, what up? She said, as you should, love all of it. That's the beauty of it all, the little things that make it count. And I think this conversation right now is giving evidence to how what that person may appreciate may not be the thing you think they appreciate. So have the conversation. What is it that I can do in this space to make this easier for you? It may not be what you think it is. It may not be, that grand, big thing that you did in your last relationship. It may not be the morning beautiful text that most guys think every woman wants. It may be a prayer.
Facts.
Right? It may not be the prayer. It may be it may be like, I struggle with setting an intention in the morning. Can you just send me the intention that you set today?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying to you? You don't know what it is. It may be like, well, can you keep track of my mileage on my car and then take it in and do my oil change for me?
That's good. That's solid.
You know what I'm saying? Or shoot, in my case, in many situations, can you keep track of my period?
Yeah.
And I've done that without being asked so many times for personal reasons. Because it's like checking the weather, my nigga. You need to know, is it going to be hot or cold today? How should I dress?
How should I dress? That's good.
How should I dress? Because
sheesh.
And then it turned into an appreciation because I'm like, yo, you about a week out, right? So this is probably not the time to pick up a big project.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know your boss is asking you to do X, Y, and Z, or your girls plan to go out and they want to go do X. Remember though, it's about the 26th. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that is a way of one showing how invested you are in her whole well-being, but also just again relieving a load, taking another thing off her checklist that she has to remember to do in the midst of everything else.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, bro. So
what up?
Would you say when we're asking our partners these questions that if you're not prepared to appease your partner with what their request is, don't ask? Like, meaning, you're asking, okay, so how can I lighten your load? What can I do for you today? And then she gives you 3 things off the top of her head, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do those. Well, then, nigga, why you ask? Or would you say, ask if you want to know the answer to it, just ask, and whether you want to do it or whether you're going to do it or not, still just ask.
I would say ask, bro, because remember, it's just information. It's not obligation.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? You just want to know. You know what I'm saying? If something falls within your wheelhouse, like if a girl tell me, like, I would love, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love when someone cooks for me 3 times a week. That's probably not my thing. I still make bachelor meals. You're probably not going to like what I cook. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, it's not fancy, So she's not going to get butt hurt. I'm not going to start feeling insecure because I can't do that thing. But, it's just a fun conversation. When we think about chore play, I do appreciate a clean house when I would go date a woman or I'm in a relationship with her and her house is clean. But for me, the reason is because I live by this theory that your house, the inside of your house, is a reflection of the inside of your mind. And I, for one, am still struggling with trying to pursue anything serious with a woman that's scatterbrained.
I got you.
And I don't want to put judgment on them, but because that's some people's happy place, it's organized chaos.
Yeah.
For me, I can't really, I don't really flow well in those spaces. And so I do appreciate, some structure in the home and a sense of cleanliness, not every single day, but, it's on my mind to do those things because it does give you an idea of what's going on inside of them, which is honestly where you want to be.
For sure. That's true.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So let's do this. Don, I'm not drinking. I'm ovulating. Oh, see, I knew something was going on with her. Look at that.
Ah.
I knew something was going on. Reggie, watch out, my brother. All right. So check this out, y'all. We're gonna go down this journey tonight. The title of tonight's show is "Would You Date You?" Would you date you? Right. And so there's this. I'm looking at online. I'm seeing how I guess the algorithm has expanded my reach to where I see how people give dating advice in different cultures.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it from the black or the urban community to white upper echelon to Jewish to Middle Eastern. And I'm like, yo, they raise their children differently, or the culture is informing them differently as it comes to dating. Right. And so I live in LA, but I work in Beverly Hills, and it's a lot of Jewish people there. And so my algorithm has been picking up a lot more Jewish content, or maybe because of what's going on in Israel and all that kind of stuff. But I have two videos that I want to play tonight to have a conversation. They do at some point direct you back to would you date you, but they start with the conversation of how we train our daughters to date, how we train our sons to date. So I think you're going to enjoy this conversation. Let's start here.
Jewish fathers tell their daughters one thing at age 13 that changes everything. Most fathers never have this conversation at all. We sit our girls down before they start dating and tell them something that sounds harsh. You are not the prize to be won. You are the judge, deciding if he deserves to be chosen. Most girls grow up thinking the goal is to be pretty enough that a boy wants them. We teach the opposite. The goal is not to be picked. The goal is to pick someone worth your time. Then we teach them one question to ask about every boy they meet. Does he add value to my life, or does he just make me feel good? Because feeling good lasts 3 months. Value lasts a lifetime. A boy who adds value does 3 things. He makes you sharper, not softer. He challenges you to grow, not stay comfortable. He has a plan for his future, not just feelings about his present. Most fathers raise daughters who ask, am I good enough for him? We raise daughters who ask, is he good enough for me? By the time your daughters choose partners, they're choosing whoever makes them feel wanted. By the time ours choose, they're choosing whoever makes them better. This isn't about being cold. This is about understanding that who you choose determines the trajectory of your entire life. The wrong partner costs you decades. The right partner multiplies everything. The Talmud teaches that a woman builds her house or tears it down with her own hands. The most important decision she makes is who she lets inside. Teach your daughters they are the ones doing the choosing, not the ones hoping to be chosen.
So there's like some big points here I feel like totally go against the culture I think that you and I are in because of the conversations we've had.
Yeah.
About women wanting to be chosen, but then you hear this training. Yeah. What do you think? And what do you think about this video so far?
I think that it's spot on, and I feel like that mindset, honestly, is how I've always envisioned teaching my daughter about dating, and teaching her, not even about dating, teaching her about herself. Really, is what it comes down to, and just instilling those, like, because a lot of that stuff that he was talking about is some deep, like, even moral values that should be held from a little girl up until marriage. You know what I mean? I'm not just out here trying to be as pretty as I can so I can grab a ball player, or be as pretty as I can so I can grab a nigga with money. Like, it don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? It's important to teach our young girls, the importance of virtue, the importance of, the things that dudes like the Donnies of the world are looking for in a partner. And I feel like a lot of things that are being taught to these, the younger women in our generation are just like, I could care. Yeah, you may be cool. All of that is cool if we just trying to have sex, or all of that is cool if, I just want to have a good time for a few months and hang out for a few months. But if we talking about long-term, like real serious type of relationship, I think some different training, like my man said, may be in need.
And so what all that makes me think is that there's some women who are dating and they choose the man that makes them better, or that they feel like is improving their life. Yeah. And then it seems like there may be some women who choose a man and their hope is that because of who they chose, the world will treat them better. You know what I'm saying? This where it comes down to that status.
I was about to say,
if I'm with this person, then the world is going to treat me better, versus I'm choosing this person because of them not just treating me better, but they make me better.
Yeah.
And that's the first differentiation I'm seeing from this video. And I'm wondering how many of us have taken time when it comes down to our picker and it comes down to our preferences, asking ourselves, do I like who I like or the type of person I like because of what they do to me, what they bring out of me? Or do I like the kind of person that I like and that's my preference because I know that if I have this kind of person, that the world's going to view me in a more favorable way?
That's good, man. I feel like it's such a slippery slope though, because with that kind of mindset, I feel like it has the potential to be, like for instance, I was in a relationship where, bringing out the best in this young woman because I saw all the potential, you know what I mean? So, I'm helping to cultivate that and doing all these other things, you know what I mean? But I feel like when that is what a woman is looking for a man to do, and she can't do that for herself, I think that could become an issue.
What
You know what I
part?
mean?
Making herself better?
Yes. Like if you can't do the things to make yourself better, and you need a man to make you better. Like I know women need men need women, all of those things. But I'm saying if you can't do like certain things for yourself, you know what I mean, to make you better, then I feel like that could be potentially an issue.
I see what you're saying. I see where the issue could potentially come in. I am also under the understanding that you, as an isolated individual, limit your potential.
Yeah.
I think that there's people who are going to have an outside perspective of you that care about you, that show you things that you'll never be able to see on your own, not
Yes.
even with the best mirror.
Yes.
Right. And then there's certain people who have a way of speaking to you and things that they've been trained in that'll bring something out of you that you, through your best self affirmations, cannot bring up out of you. I think that's the point of relationships. There's too often, too often might be a wrong way of saying it, but I've heard it said, I'm not sure how true it is for every single person who says it, that I want them, I don't need them. And so with that, it does make me question, does the idea of I want them versus I don't need them impact who you choose? Because if it does, then I would have to have a question about why do you feel like you don't need anybody? Whoever you choose, just be a want.
I think for me, I think when I think of need, I go down to the bare basics. One, do I need you to live? Do I for just for me to be able to walk this earth on a daily basis? Do I need something from you to be able to do that? More than likely, the answer is no. Unless you're my caretaker, is something wrong with me? You know what I mean? Something like that, where I actually need you to be here so I can live. But other than that, the answer is no. So I always feel like when I hear people say, I need you, it always, since I was younger, even if I've said it, it's always been like, but do you? What do you need from that person in order to be alive?
So my answer to that question is yes. I want to marry the person that I need, and I understand that I need them. And for me, this goes back to not just being alive. Being alive is not enough for me. I'm here to complete a vision. I'm here to complete a mission. And so maybe I've said it in different ways in different rooms where I said, well, the vision needs them. Right?
That I can see.
And that made more, but for me, it's one and the same. I'm only here because of the vision. So I say I need them. And I think that for me, the difference is that I'm not just using them for what they can bring to help the vision come to pass.
For sure.
There's a completion that I experience because of them being with me and I being with them. And the outcome of the vision is an outcome of us saying, I understand that we need each other and I'm okay with that, versus saying the vision just needs you. It almost sounds like employment. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. But that's what I was trying to get to. You know what I mean? It's different than you know, you feel like you need the person because you've never felt this way before. Like when I hear need, like I think people think need and want. I mean, I think people get confused with need and want. You can want somebody and not need them. You know what I mean? I think when people are saying I need you in my life, I think that they really need to step back, just like you just did, and assess like why. Why is it that you feel you need me?
So Rashonda said, "I will run if you say you need me."
Yeah.
And so
Some
Portia said, "Need equal desperation in that scenario."
Mm,
And you know, and we've said it plenty of times in this podcast. Knowing where you are and knowing what you need and verbalizing that is a great thing, because the more clear you are about the specifics of what your life needs, the
yeah,
easier it is for you to identify who is for you.
facts.
Too often people try to make, it's like restaurants. They try to make a menu full of items that a lot of people will like.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case of marriage, my understanding is that there's only one person you need. And so the
Mhm.
more specific you are, the easier it is for you to wean out those who are not for you or not for
I
that
agree.
vision, not for that mission.
I
But
agree.
as soon as you say, "Oh, well, you know, this kind of person I'm in," and people start saying, you shouldn't be like that. I don't like that." People be like, "Oh, well, I can change that." No, that's good. People are supposed to not like it. And
Yep.
hopefully,
Everybody.
if things go well, you'll be left with one person that likes it. And it's like, cool. This
Yeah.
is what we're about to do. But I think too often people don't like to be seen in a negative light for preferring what they prefer or knowing what they need to complete the vision that God has given them. And like we've had this conversation on the podcast about me saying, like, I want to be able to groom my person
Mhm.
to a certain degree, and I love to be groomed by them. And some people are like,
Mhm.
bro, that's not at all. And that's great, because
Yeah.
now I know it's not you.
Yeah. That's
If I'm
right.
trying to find out who it's for, you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. I think I agree with you, and I feel like the reason I feel like that we're seeing so many high the divorce rate being so high is because a lot of people are, you know, listening to like, oh man, my personality is like this. I want this, I need this, but I'm going to settle for something because, you know what I mean, I'm this age, or I've been looking for this long, so now I'm gonna just fold my cards and say, fuck it, I'll just take. Come on, let's just go get married because all these other dudes or all these other women, you know, said they wanted me, but when they found out how my personality really was, they switched up on me. So now I'm just willing to take whatever comes along. I feel wholeheartedly that being true to yourself, I think that's when you find your person, no matter how long it takes. I know people that waited in their 50s to get married to find it to find their person and happily ever after.
Wait your turn. That's
Wait
it.
your turn, bro.
So check this out. We got who was that? Rashonda said, "God is all I need," and that Jesus completed his purpose single. Portia said, "I identify my needs to myself, not the people I'm dating. Too many mighty Morphin Power Rangers out there." Ever said, "Every man needs his helpmate." And this is great because I think I said on a few podcasts ago, like my mentor told me that you're not just dating the person that you see, you're dating their mentality, right? And there's certain beliefs that people carry that will definitely inform how they do relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, so for someone who feels like you need me, that's a red flag, bro. That's way too much. It's going to show up in a way, and not even a negative way. That informs
It
how
does.
they show up in their relationship and how they engage you. It could be beautiful.
Yeah.
For somebody else, for that person. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that when we recognize that it may not be a one size fit all, you know what I'm saying to you? And needing someone doesn't necessarily require a psychological diagnosis. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So it's something I consider. And as I think about where it came from, it makes me think about weddings and how you are coming together at one and you're called to die to self and just become one person. And my mind is just like, dang, if I'm really going to give my life for this person, for something greater, I feel like I need you almost is a subcategory of I love you. right? Because it does something for you. So maybe, you know what I'm saying, on a shallow level, I don't need you to breathe. I don't need you to live. God gives me breath and all those kind of things. But there's certain experiences in life I would not have without you. And if I don't
Yeah.
have those experiences, life just isn't as sweet. It doesn't make as much sense to me. And I think in that is fair and adequate for me to say, I need you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying to you? And for those of us who may struggle with that or don't believe in that, sometimes that shows up when someone passes away and life is never the same again. And you
Yeah.
wonder why? Because that person held a role that only they can hold, and it made life what only it could be with their existence there. And now that they're not there and they can't be replaced,
That's
you know?
solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
It's good.
So you were going, I want to go back to this. You said earlier about you can't wait to have a daughter to train her up in certain ways. Are there certain things that you're going to inform your daughter about dating before she gets to, 16, 18, or how 40? When you gonna let her
30.
date? 30. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid 30.
Is there anything you're gonna tell her about dating before the age of 30, Mike?
Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch, man, and I'm so happy that I was blessed to be able to have a son first. I know a lot of people say boys and girls are different, which they are, obviously, but just to be able to see the type of parenting style, and I think that honesty has really gone a long way with me and Denim, and not sugarcoating, not, you know what I mean? Because what I found is, and it'll probably be a lot crazier by the time I have my daughter, but what I found is, if you don't talk to your kids, the internet is going to talk to your kids. The homeboys and homegirls going to talk to your kids.
Yeah.
The music is going to talk to your kids. The nigga at the liquor store is going. So you got all these other influences outside of you that's going to talk to your kids. So I found it so important to just be upfront and be honest about what it is and what it's not and what it should be. You know what I mean? To your best of your ability with your children. And that's the same plan I have for my daughter. No different.
I like that. I'm gonna ask you a question based on that video.
All right.
Because when I look at the culture that video is coming from, and I notice sometimes even in America, mixed couples are frowned upon. But per that video, I think a lot of people are seeing that what they may want in a relationship and the ideas they may have about how a relationship should be
Mhm.
don't fit into the framework of their culture. It fits into the framework of the white man or the Filipino girl, or the Asian guy over here, or the Samoan guy, and it's like sometimes you were bred for internally a different
Interesting.
culture.
Yes.
And so, maybe it's like when you see that, oh, this is how Jewish parents raise their daughters or their sons, the culture alone may attract you to that boy or to that girl.
That's good.
Would you have an issue with your daughter dating somebody that wasn't Black and Filipino?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. And I say that, bro, because what I'm raising my son and what I'll be raising my daughter, or if I have another boy or whatever the case may be, what I'm raising is to be good human beings. Not good Black human beings, or not good, Black culture, just good human beings to everybody, to every race. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's core values that can speak to any race of people. You know what I mean? Like, are you a good person?
Got you. I got you. I like that. And it begs to ask the question. So Rashonda said, what is our culture built for? And the first thing I would have to say is that we have to really identify what our culture is, because just because we're African American or Black doesn't mean we have that same culture. And I think that that's one of the most, in my experience, one of the most vague cultures, or so blended and mixed, maybe on purpose through propaganda, that it's hard to identify with. Because I have Nigerian friends, I have Jamaican friends, and technically we're all Black. But when I tell you the culture is different, the breeding of a boy to a man is so different. Like in my friends' cultures, there's a clear identifier, or there's a clear ceremony of a rites of passage of a boy coming to a man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that growing up. Absent puberty,
Yeah.
I don't know. And so when we say our culture, I think it's beautiful when I can see a black man who has an understanding of his culture through a very historically accurate lens, who meets a black woman who has a similar understanding, and they're not just I hate to say it this way, not just their struggles, but their hopes also, and their strengths from maybe some of those struggles complement each other in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
I love to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think that we can assume that is always going to be a good fit just because two people are black.
No, yeah, that last statement hit the nail on the head for me. I think that, and not to sound super cliche, but I feel like, love don't really see the color or the struggle or where your parents came from. Like, if you saying you love this person and she's saying she love you, and y'all are legit, like this is a real thing, it's not puppy love, it's not lust, it's not any of those things, then I don't care what race you are, because I would hate to go through this earth knowing that I chose somebody just because the color of their skin, or just because they got the same cultural background as me, and that's not really where my heart is. It was with the girl that was a different nationality, but I broke up with her because she wasn't black, and fuck that.
So, but then there's also certain ramifications inside of your culture if you don't stay. So before the show tonight, I'm finally catching up on Bridgerton, right? Season 4. I'm watching young Sir Bridgerton and this Asian maid, as we know for now. And he's like, I love you. And she was like, you cannot. And he was like, but I do. You know what I'm saying to you? And it's like, if you try, first he asked her to be his mistress. Ladies, just have some grace with us. Sometimes we just trying to figure it out and we don't give a good enough explanation. But and then he confessed because a black dude told him, bro, you gotta, even if it's not an ideal situation, if it was one, tell her what that would be like. It's about the effort of explaining your heart outside of this, strict logic. But it's like, if he chose to marry her, not only would it impact his status in the society, but also it would do something to his family's name. And so here are some consequences from your decisions that maybe those connected to you will have to share. And so I think that when you're thinking about marrying someone, this is something that's very prominent. People are still considering not just me and you, but how is it going to affect the people around us as well? Which is why, as I've ventured outside of my race plenty of times, parents are not always wild about their daughter being a black guy. And is as much of a sex symbol as black men have become in multiple cultures, to have one as a husband is still seen as a disadvantage.
It has been,
And even with all that love that you guys may have between each other, some people are like, it's just not worth it, because if I look at my future, being with you is going to be a disadvantage, and that's going to make life harder for my kids, for my family, and X, Y, and Z.
And that's great, because like you just said a few minutes ago, great. Thank you for saying that. Now I know you're not the one. Next. That's perfect. Tell me the truth. Cool.
Yeah. So yes, that could be that cut and dry. But here's my question though. What if they're wanting to do it, but it's the family around them that's like, don't do black. Just don't do anything.
You know me, bro. You know what my answer's gonna be.
It still ain't them.
Fuck their family. If me and you telling me you love me, I'm telling you I love you. We feel like God has brought this union together. What God brings together, can't no man tear apart. Whether they agree with it, don't agree with it, hate you for it, don't speak to you no more because of it, it don't matter.
I think that if you're willing to cut ties with your family over it, that must be a different kind of love. That may be that real thing. Whew.
Bruh. And I feel like when and this is how, I'm glad you said that, because this is how I feel like marriages should be. That's the type of mentality you should have. If nobody on this planet was for us being together, would we still be together? not our mamas, not our daddies, not our best friends, not our pastors. Nobody wanted us to be together. But me and you believe that God brought us together, and me and you believe that we have a calling to be together. Will we still be together? If the answer is I don't know, or no, you shouldn't marry the person. That's simple.
I agree. I can't even fight that. That's a good question. That's like a premarital counseling question. And let me make a correction here. Portia says sex symbol, fetishize, which doesn't make them equal. Yes, there. Maybe a fetish.
Wow.
Is even a better, more accurate term that some people have as it pertains to black men. There's this fetish, and I think that black men also need to be aware that sometimes it can look like sincere interest and maybe even sometimes love, but the only way to know the difference is patience, my brother.
That's it.
Patience will allow you to see the consistency of care, which can't be present absent love. You know what I'm saying? Patience will allow you to see, because people can, there's only a certain amount of time that fetish is going to occupy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Their minds and their heart before it's just like, okay, well, whatever.
Agreed.
Got to be more careful.
Got to be more careful.
What we got over here in the chat? What if it's a priest? Where's the priest coming in? Now I just immediately got nervous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Golly. So Ali said immediately, biggest reason I cut ties with mine, walked away from most of my family 21 years ago when I got married. Sheesh. Yeah. Oh, shoot. So thank you. John said it's been a huge factor since Romeo and Juliet. Like when your families are feuding.
Yeah.
That's good. It's wild because I think that we have this idea that the people that we're with and we roll with today are going to co-sign every decision that we make in the future. And I'm here to tell you from personal experience that may not be the case. There may be a line, and I've seen it in my life where certain people that you roll with today are going to be like, this is as far as we can go together. And I think that you appreciate their honesty, and then you appreciate also the time that you guys have spent together and the memories you've made. But if you know it's what you need to do, then you got to move forward, no matter who can rock with you or who can't.
Yeah,
and I know that that's a big ask sometimes because some families are just hella tight, and maybe they'll get over it. But you have to ask yourself, can I know who this person is to me in my heart and not choose them to please people that have been around me for a long time that just may believe a little differently, but we're just blood bonded. And it's not just blood bonded, but it's like, you got to ask, can you live with that?
You have to.
So, so Rashana said, I can tell the difference, and I ain't about to be your experience. All my white guys dated other black women. So you ain't gonna be the first black woman he dates. Portia said, I've had to deal with being fetishized as a plus size woman, which didn't mean they wanted to be committed to me. Yeah, buddy. All right, so check this out. So as we're doing this dichotomy, this back and forth, right, of the Jewish culture and our culture, here is kind of what social media is presenting to me about American culture.
I just want to hook up with a guy who's hot. I just want a guy who's good looking and fun. I'm looking for a man who's in shape, has a good job, and wants kids. I'm looking for a man who communicates, is family oriented, and is looking to have kids within the next 2 to 3 years. Here are my non-negotiables. He has to have a business degree, be spiritually grounded, nice to his family, never wears necklaces, went to summer camp, and has brown hair. I am never doing blonde again. I think I'm going to start dating women.
So I want to play it one more time because what they're showing is like the different ages and how the requirements or the desire changes because at different ages, maybe the circumstances are changing. And I want to have a conversation with you, Mike, about how dangerous it is to have standards that are so fluid, that are circumstantial.
Yeah.
I just want to hook up with a guy who's hot. I just want a guy who's good looking and fun. I'm looking for a man who's in shape, has a good job, and wants kids. I'm looking for a man who communicates, is family oriented, and is looking to have kids within the next 2 to 3 years. Here are my non-negotiables. He has to have a business degree, be spiritually grounded, nice to his family, never wears necklaces, went to summer camp, and has brown hair. I am never doing blonde again. I think I'm going to start dating women.
Real quick. What I found interesting though is by the time I think it was 38, I feel like she had a lot of masculine energy. She had her like almost like business suit on, shirt tucked in. She just looked a lot more masculine, and that's when her non-negotiable. These are the things I'm not going to stand for. You know what I mean? And I feel like in this day and age, when you hit that as single women, and single women can chime in. I feel like once you start hitting that 38, 40, and you're still single, or you still see sometimes guys still playing in your face, sometimes it is like, okay, forget what I want. Here's what I'm not going to stand for. It's not something a lot of people are going into for. I don't. It's not even about what I want. It's about what I don't want.
That's a good observation.
That's I'm sorry. That sucks to be in that place to where you have to put what you want all the way to the side just because it's so much BS in the dating world you have to deal with. Now it's just about, okay, so you don't do this, cool. Not do you? You know what I'm saying?
You know, and I think that ultimately, yes, the first video we played, you know, the guy was saying we teach our daughters early.
Yeah.
And I think that the second piece of advice though is that certain things are just bound to happen in life to help you evolve and develop.
Mhm.
The thing that you want may not be the thing that you need in order to become the person you've been called to be. And so although we want like our first shot to go in, there may be some relationships that are not ideal that will carve and create in you the kind of character to help you steward the marriage that you want one day, or the marriage that you need one day. And I think that oftentimes it's in our inability to find gratitude in every situation that keeps us from growing. I think Nipsey Hussle said, if you look deep enough, any experience can be your teacher or can teach you something. And I think that too often we're so deep in our feelings when we don't get what we want or how we want it, or somebody played in my face. And there's so many different lenses we can look back over a relationship with and find something of value that can add to us and help us to continue to evolve, even if it's not the outcome that we wanted, but who's teaching us or showing us how to do that and why it's important to do that. Because I think that bitterness is just not a result of you just continually not getting what you want. I think it's because you don't really sit and reflect, and you don't have the proper perspective to look at your situations, to grab any gratitude. And so that leaves you with nothing but bitterness because all you see is I didn't get what I wanted again.
Yep, I agree. And that's when you start hearing statements like all men are this and all men cheat, all men are dogs, all men. It's coming from a place of bitterness.
And I've been bitter before. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'll say this, you know, I think that as much as I just said and how wonderful it sounded, I think that the first feeling is bitterness.
Yeah.
But hopefully you got somebody around you and say, hey, let's look at this, right? Mike asked me a question. I won't go into too many details. He asked me a question, last week or a week before last? And he said, what do you think are some of the outcomes or the results of living in survival mode too long? And when he asked me that question, what I said to him shocked him. I said, the results? I said, you mean the pros and the cons? And so he was expecting me to just give him a list of cons, a long list of cons. This is, you end up like this, you end up like that. But I think that I was trained later on in life, maybe in my 30s, to even in the worst situation, still do a pros and cons list. It doesn't have to be a whole list of cons. There could be some pros there, but who's going to look?
Yeah.
And so I was talking to my friends the other day, and one of the questions came up was, if I can get it right, what was the most advantageous thing that came from being betrayed? Regardless of what your answer is, do you even know how to put yourself in the mind state to consider that?
Yeah, that's
because some people are just resistant from the gate. Hell no, nothing. Did you even try?
Didn't even try to think about it.
What is the most advantageous thing that came from you being betrayed?
That's good.
And so those are the kind of conversations I have with friends. Those are kind of rooms I sit in. People wonder how I can go in places and talk to you on here. They don't know about my humanizers group that I go to, right? And I'm sitting around with such a diverse group of people, and we having these topics in a place where there's no arguing and no debating. And I think that as you practice sitting around people with a growth mindset, you gain very beneficial perspectives that almost makes you look at every situation you've been through in life and say, I can pull something from that.
Yeah.
What we got in the chat? I see you over there looking. They jumping in. I love how she portrayed them with her clothes. I got to go back and look at it again because you and Mike saw that and I didn't. Preferences and requirements have changed over the years. And I want to ask you this, Ali. I see you say your preferences and requirements have changed over the years. Were you ever given a standard as a child, or were you creating a standard along your journey? I just want to get that question answered if you don't mind. Yeah, McJellen said it all serves its purpose. Understanding creates deeper gratitude. Yeah, some pros. And I'm not saying that there necessarily has to be, but do you know how to look for them? And I think that's a bitterness repellent, but it's also an arena of maturity that someone has to almost invite you into.
I agree. I like that. I agree with that. Yeah.
So when I'm looking at this video and the thing that I see is that your circumstances are now dictating how you choose who to date instead of your calling or your purpose. And that can be a very tricky situation to be in, because if you look at her map from 20 to 40, she's not done changing either.
No.
So this is why I guess I could see people being married for 20 or 30 years and then getting a divorce, because that season is over and they chose for that season, not for this life.
Jesus.
Yep. Berg said, as she aged, her desires got less superficial, but more about the wanting a man that can bring something to the table that will help support them as a family. And then she gave up on men at 40, which is what a lot of people do in any situation where they don't get what they want long enough. They'll just flip the script to a whole nother game. And I think that is part of the detriment of being out of alignment with your calling in life. You find yourself just nowhere finding fulfillment or satisfaction because you don't even know why you're here. That's a dangerous place to be in. So
very much so. Very dangerous.
So with that being said, let's look at the boys. Let's look at the sons.
Jewish parents teach their sons one thing before their first girlfriend, and most parents never have this conversation at all. We sit our boys down at around 13 and we tell them the truth about love. The truth is this: the person you choose to build a life with will either multiply everything you are or divide everything you worked for. There is no neutral. Your choice of partner is the single most important financial decision you will ever make, more than your career, more than your investments, more than your education, because the wrong person will cost you everything you built, and the right person will build twice as much alongside you. Your sons are learning about relationships from their friends and their phone. Ours are learning from their fathers. Before they ever go on a date, we teach them to look past the feeling. Feelings are temporary. Character is permanent. We teach them to ask one question before anything else. Does this person make me better, or do they make me comfortable? Because comfortable and better are not the same thing. The Talmud teaches that a man finds his greatest blessing in who he comes home to. By the time our sons choose a partner, they already know what they are looking for. By the time yours choose, they are just following their heart with no compass. Teach your sons to choose with wisdom before they ever choose with emotion.
Yeah. I feel like for me, having a now 14-year-old to be 15 in May, I feel like me and Denham have been having these conversations probably since he was like 10 years old. Again, not necessarily even pertaining to women, just being a good person. You know what I mean? Like, would you want somebody to do this to you? And then as well as Denham seeing me with different women and how I've interacted negatively and positively. Like, he's full aware of the setbacks that me and Janae have had in our relationships, and any setbacks that I've had in any relationship that I've been in while he was there, whether it's my fault, their fault, whatever the case may be. And I feel like that's important, bro, because it it allows that young man to see, one, okay, daddy's not perfect, but you know what I mean, this is what I want to stay away from. Or maybe like I told Denim, you know, women have tended to be in my past an issue for me. So maybe that's something that, you know, you want to look out for just when you're starting to date and you're starting to find women attractive and you're starting to hang out, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, like I tell Denim, if you like a girl, cool. If you like two girls, cool. But don't lie to either one of them. You know what I mean? Tell them I like her, but I also like her too, and let them decide what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So just things that, like I said, are just, you know, be honest, be upfront, communicate. Things that just on a human level that don't have nothing to do with dating can help him in the dating world.
And I like that, bro. I think that when you talk about just being a good human, I want to add to that.
Yeah.
These videos that we're watching, he keeps saying, but our kids.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some kind of pride in being Jewish. And so for me, when I hear this, I'm like, I think I've told my nephews this before. This is what it means to be a McClinton, because that's where our family comes from, right?
Yep.
This is what it means. So when I have my children, I understand that you may be Christian, you may be black, and you may be mixed. Who knows? You know, mess around with me. Let's be honest. But
it's factual. It's factual. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Historical evidence. But do you know what it means to be a Donnell? And this is something I actually want to share with my wife as well. Right? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what it means to be a Donnell? And when you have something that's been thoroughly thought through, like when I have my family meetings with my family, my sister and her husband and their kids and my mom, we have one bi-monthly. I'm always talking about what is our family crest? What are our family values? What do we stand for? It's so much easier to make decisions in life when you know who you are, where you come from, and what we believe in. It's almost like these hard questions are already answered because, oh shoot, nah, man, I'm a Donnell. We don't do that. And it's almost like you feel so much confidence saying it because you know you're not doing it by yourself. No, that's not what we do. And we don't have to. We don't have a poverty mindset. You know what I'm saying? We don't move in desperation. You know what I'm saying? There's a strategy to everything that we do, and we're emotionally intelligent that accompanies our strategy. So we're not just robots, and we're also not just flowing with whatever wave comes, right? There's a sense of drive that comes from generosity. We are generous people because we know that is a way that we pour out the seed, and that in due season a harvest is going to come from that. Like there's just certain things that we are known for doing. And so when you associate and connect with that on a deep level, it's almost like the dating becomes easy.
Yeah, facts.
I didn't get that.
Facts.
But I'm creating it.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying to you? One of the most solid things I ever got from my mom was that from an early age, you are energy wrapped in flesh. Yeah. And I still say it to this day. And that's something that I hold to. And that's why it informs a lot of the other intentions and standards I create in other areas. But when I forget I am that, I also recognize how I move in this world. So I think that identity anchor is very important.
It really is, man. And it's always good to see, you know what I mean, how you instill in certain values in your children, and you teach them, or I teach my son about being emotionally mature and, you know, being able to regulate emotions and thinking clearly and not moving on impulse or emotion. So he without putting too much of his business, he likes a girl at his school. She likes him. They're in the they're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but they like each other. So he was like, man, I want to go see, you know, a scary movie this weekend. And I was like, oh, okay. He was naming people that he wanted to come as his best friend or whatever. I was like, oh, are you going to invite the young lady to go with you? And he kind of smiled on him. He's like, no, not yet. It's not time yet. And I was like, I just sat back and I was like, wow, the fact that you
That's
can
my client.
1,000, you are the first person I thought about. I was like, boy, if
That's my
this
client.
ain't Donovan right here. And it was just such a proud moment to see that, like I said, that emotional maturity to know, like, yeah, I like this girl, like talking to her, like hanging out with her at school. You know, I may even want to go to the movies with her, but I know what that could possibly set off if I'm asking her to go to a movie, or what she may feel about that, or you know what I mean. And I don't know if I want to do that yet. So it was just good to just see him like, oh man, this is good. Because me back in the day, oh, I could bring a girl out. Yep, I'm calling her right now, asking if we can go out, just because my friend got a girlfriend and they go out, so I want to go out with a girl, you know, that kind of thing. But just to see the independence in the way he thinks, you know what I mean? Yeah,
That's my client, man. I love that kid.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I meant to tell you about that earlier. It was such a you moment.
Let me send that nigga some money. Man. All right. See, this is why we love the show. Rashonda said, I was taught to never need a man. I just got that revelation why I said I would run earlier. Hashtag this help. This is helping me.
That's good.
I love these conversations.
That's good. That's good. And like I think we mentioned this on the last show. So many. I think we were talking about women and like the girl code and not talking to the guy that walked up to the table that now wants to talk to your homegirl. So many things that we can't explain, and we just live by these unspoken, unexplained rules that whether we're told as children, that whether we see on TV, that we came up with our friends when you were younger, and we just live by these rules, and we never question these rules, or we never want to kind of rock the boat because this is what I've always done. But then you get outside of that and you do start to question certain things, and you do kind of like scrape away at some of the teachings, maybe even from your parents, from your church, or whatever else may be. And then you find like, oh shoot, I may have been doing this thing wrong.
I got a video for that later. I'm gonna make sure I play it before we get out of here tonight.
For sure.
Man. All right. So we're talking about this, right? You know what I'm saying? Would you date you? Who to date? How to date? Who taught you to date? And I think ultimately for a lot of people, the dating is supposed to lead to marriage. And so I just want to play this video because I think I want to start moving this conversation in a different direction. So let's start here.
Just talk about how when a man marries a woman, that's a big freaking deal, especially to the man. That's a big deal. You're telling me all of these options. There's more women than men in the world, and it's you. And especially, like, I don't wear makeup. I be eating chicken down to the bone. Okay, sauce all on my fingers and on my mouth. And he said, yep, that's the one. You're telling me all these women, some women, you broke they back for your man before y'all got married, and he didn't commit to her. All the money and the time and pouring her heart into that man, and he didn't commit to her. He didn't marry her. He just saw you with your little chicken legs and your little nerdy cute self, and he said, that's the one I want to take care of for the rest of my life. And then I don't have to pay bills, I don't have to pay rent, I don't have to touch anything, and he likes me. I don't have to do anything, he just likes me. That's a big deal.
The reason I like this video is the one line she said, and I'm the one he wants to take care of for the rest of his life. So this goes back to the beginning of the episode when I was talking about just make it easy for me to take care of you.
Golly.
Because oftentimes that's the thing that gets me over the hump to even start considering. Because if that's what I want to do, and that's why I want to commit my life to taking care of you, and that's a challenge, and that's the foundational thing. So even like this year, you know what I'm saying? When I said, man, let me get myself together. You know, I remember I shut off dating for a while, and I'm just like, I want to get established this year. You know what I'm saying to you? I want to get myself in position in more arenas where that care can be even more thorough. But that's just a big deal for me. What'd you think about the video? Did she explain well enough how big of a deal it is for men?
I absolutely love that video, and I loved it for so many reasons. It, you know, especially coming from the type of guy that I was, before Janae, and even when I was younger, you know what I mean, coming from a place where it was never really difficult to get a girl, to have a girl, for a girl to spend money on me, and it just really wasn't. And for most guys, when we finally say, "Hey, you are the one," and that's it, it's like it is a big deal. And I don't know, because as men, I think it's more so culturally known that women are more so pushed to find a man and get married, and just the idea of marriage. Mostly women, you know what I mean. So for men, it's that is really not in the forefront of our minds. We're like trying to provide, trying to make it happen, things of that nature. So when we finally say, you know what, this is it, I want you, and we go through with the proposal, and then we get married to that person, it is a big deal. And it's so refreshing, bro. To answer your question about how I felt about the video, it's so refreshing to see a woman that seems very appreciative, and to have the understanding that he ain't have to do that.
Thank you.
Granted, she didn't either, but we're talking about a man right now. He ain't have to propose to you, especially if he's good looking. He's a God-fearing man. He has a lot of stuff going for himself. He takes care of his body. He takes care of his health. He's intelligent. He has a good job. If you have all these things and he still chose you, like, that's a big thing for a dude. At least in my mind, it is. For me, it is.
Rashonda says she's going to be a great wife. I want to agree with that, because something you just said, Mike, was my whole reason for just saying, damn, that was a good video. That she took time to consider how big of a deal it was. And I think that I put that in contrast to some situations that I've seen, heard, been exposed to myself, to where it's like, by now you should have married me.
Jeez, bro.
I can understand where the frustration comes in, but I also see a gap of understanding. Why do you feel like it should just be something that is just, you should have just, it sounds like, but we'd have to have a conversation. It sounds like you don't understand how heavy of a choice that is. And not from a heavy of a burdensome, but a heavy of how much influence it's going to have over the rest of my life.
Yeah. And so in my mind, that should be admired when a guy wants to take his time. Like my son, it's a perfect example. Like my kid, I want to take my time. I don't need to rush it, because I know this decision will affect so many other decisions down the line. You know what I'm saying? Because we have great conversation, ain't enough to say to propose. Because you look good, ain't enough to propose. Because we get along well together, ain't enough to propose. It's so many things that women think like, oh, but we've been together for 2 years and we haven't had any arguments, and we like a lot of the same things. For a man, sometimes that's not enough to propose. We got to think about so much more. Not to say women don't, but we're the ones proposing at the end of the day. Some women are proposing, but for the most part, men are the ones proposing.
I can't even say it with a straight face no more. But see, now this opens up the conversation, because it goes back to our other video with the Jewish dad. Like Portia said, being honest, I was a little triggered by that. It went back to being chosen or not being chosen. Like, they're teaching their daughters not to worry about being chosen, but you choose. I was taught in my 20s that women choose.
Yeah.
They have the final say. All men can do is propose. Everything that we do is a proposal.
That's crazy.
And he told me, not even just up to marriage, even after marriage, you're still asking her, hey, babe, you want to do this? And can you do this? And they're always the one has to.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying to you? And so I know it's not like that in every situation, but they taught me, like, in most cases, they are the ones who do the choosing. You do the proposing. And when a woman feels like you are worth her heart, worth her time, then she'll let you in to a certain degree. And when she lets you in, you just got to know what to do once you get in there.
That's it, bro.
Now, of course, this is taught to me by some men who come from a different generation.
Yeah.
And had a vast experience, like 4 or 5 men, saying my uncles. Some of them been married for a long time. One of them was a widow. The other one had, got divorced. But they collectively, these are the same men that told me you got to wait your turn.
Mm-hmm.
who also taught me about just the proposal part, and they get to choose. And so it does become a little challenging to understand, like, so who should feel chosen? And then I look at other cultures where that's not even a topic of conversation. It's more about character, compatibility, and how aligned we both are with our own unique purpose in life. Like,
Yeah, bro. That's good.
yeah. And I like this, man. I like this conversation. I like her video because it's not so much that I want to twist all of it onto the men. Like, y'all just not considering men. I love what women consider. I love their mindset concerning, well, most women mindset concerning dating and marriage. I just think that it should be leveled with an understanding that this man has just as many feelings, just as many desires, just as many wants, and that when you meet at this so-called "what do you bring to the table" conversation, a lot of times it's not the skill sets, it's not your resume, it's your hopes and your dreams.
Mm.
So when you bring your hopes to the table, I bring my hopes and dreams to the table. I think
Yeah.
it makes it a lot easier for us to understand where we belong in each other's lives.
That's solid, man. God, that video was so good. It literally had me smiling the entire video. Like that's because to me, bro, and I'll go out on a limb and I'll speak for you as well. If we see that our the woman that we chose recognizes and appreciates, we'll give her the world.
Bruh.
Like, it don't take a lot.
Imagine this, bro. A woman going to you, like you're dating. It's like, listen, I know I'm looking at you. I know you got a lot of options. You're a good man. I know other people see that you're a good man. And I understand that there's this very specific path that you want to take in life and things you want to do. And you saw fit to partner with me. I want you to know that I see you and I take that very seriously. And I'll do my best to never let you regret this choice. Not saying it from this old servant.
Yeah.
And I think that it's reciprocated. The man is doing the same things. Like, out of everybody, you made the most sense to me. It's not just the looks, it's how you understand me, how you see me.
Crazy.
The way you make it easy for me to carry out purpose without wasting unnecessary energy and capacity.
Okay, so let's stay here for a second.
Let's do it, man.
So, and I hate using this terminology that women are emotional, because men are too, but when women are coming from an emotional space, and so as a guy, we're like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing the work, but then the woman, as you know, well, she's asking questions like, well, do you want to be with me? Do you love me? How you feel about me? All of these other questions that sound unsure, but in our heads, how can you be unsure? And I'm here. I'm showing up. We're having the conversations where I'm doing all the things that could show you that I'm here. But for some reason, because of that emotional mindset, or because I don't know what it is, I'm assuming it's emotions, or maybe it's just in that moment that just don't feel seen, or whatever the case may be. But they're not getting it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm asking that because in the video, she's saying out loud, like, I see that he's doing this. I see that he's doing that. I see that he's choosing me. Yeah. Why don't other women see it? Why do some women, they need to hear it, or they need to, you know what I'm saying?
I think that it's cultural verifiers. I think that, like Rashonda said earlier, somebody informed her, about men early on. The other video we watched, the Jewish dad said, this is what we tell our daughters. I think that one way or another, every single one of us, either through parenting, mentorship, TV, or culture, was told when this happens, that's how you know somebody cares for you, likes you, loves you, wants to be with you. And these could be subconscious verifiers that we don't even know that we carry. But when we get in the romantic space, they come up, and that's what we're looking for. And a guy can be showing you all these other things, but until that thing is shown that you have known as a cultural verifier, it's not going to register. No, because my mom said, when she cooks you spaghetti, that's how you know. And she's over here making lamb chops and all the other kind of stuff. It's like, but it's not spaghetti. And so I don't fault people when they get in that place, and I don't even think it's an emotional thing. It's just two different norms. And if I'm doing everything that I've been trained to do, like my dad would train me, and I'm not saying my dad did, but hypothetically, my dad trained me, if you want a woman to know you love her, what you need to do is make sure her car is always good, because that's her transportation. Wash her car, get her oil change. So you're doing the things that your dad told you would verify. She's looking for the things that her dad told her would verify. They just don't match up. And so I'm not saying you guys can't be together, but hey, have a conversation.
There we go, my man.
You're saying you're asking me about, how do you feel about me and why, like, also, how do you verify if somebody loves you, or why do you verify if someone has chosen you or not? Now that's when you get to the sticky part, is if they can give language.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. That's good, bro.
Yep. All right, you got anything on IG? Yeah, I know you haven't looked in a while. Did you go live? Yeah, you did. I saw you went live at least.
Yeah, we live. I got some earlier, but what up, Rich?
Long time ago.
What works? Yep.
Ferg said, I don't know about the different cultures, but I do know it's a big deal for black men to settle down and get married unless they're mature. What do you think about that?
I don't know if maturity really plays a part in it, because I think that she's assuming that it's difficult for black men to settle down because of their other options.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not difficult.
No, I'm saying no. I know. She said it's a big deal for black men to settle down, and I'm saying I don't know if she thinks that it's a big deal because she feels like it's difficult for men to be monogamous. Because a lot of times, black men in marriage, the issue that people think that the only issue they think it is why black men have a hard time settling down is because of marriage. I mean, because of monogamy, and I don't necessarily think that that's the only issue that comes around with black men wanting to get married. For me, it was I needed to be in a certain space spiritually, mentally, financially, and emotionally before I made a difference, or before I proposed. You know what I mean? So I don't think that it's only I'm gonna be taken off the market. I'm not gonna be able to holler at these hoes no more. So I don't know. It's not always that.
That's funny, bro. So I went to I have this shop I go to get my eyebrows waxed, and I know the owner. She's the one I always go to, so she's real cool. So I rode up there 2 days ago, and I sat in the chair, and she was talking to the girls in the shop. I just mind my own business, talking to the girl next to me, and they were talking about some stuff about I guess her relationship life or whatnot. And then the lady asked me, she's like, "Are you into monogamy or polygamy?" And I opened my eyes. I was like, "Who?" She said, "You." I said, I said, "I'm not going to even play myself." I said, "One is all I can handle, and barely that." You know what I'm saying? So I think there is some truth to when you see a black man, you might assume that he wants multiple wives. Let's talk about this before we move to the next video, though. Rashonda said that also is risky because, like Portia said, they're going to morph into what you say. And so
explain that. I don't know if I'm following.
That's what eyebrows. I am. Okay, so Rashonda, while I got you real quick. So Portia said earlier that they're like the Mighty Morphing Power Rangers. Is it because they're switching up who they are, or they're just trying to become more of who you say that you want? Explain that morphing for me.
And then while we're on the subject, I have because I said something similar. I'm not going to go into what I said, but I said something similar to my therapist, and it was kind of around I don't want this person to be like this because they're just being like this because I want them to. And so my therapist repeated it to me. He said, "So you want the person to be XYZ, and the reason that you're saying you don't want them to be XYZ is because you want them to be XYZ."
1000%.
That don't make what? And when he said it, I'm like, oh, wow.
But that's the conversation you and I had.
Exactly.
Because Mike is very protective of me. Like, they're just doing that because that's what you want. Yeah, nigga. Like, I would like somebody. I would like to alter themselves because of what I like, but not if it comes down to them denying themselves and their
Yeah.
own authenticity,
Yeah.
right? And so I was having a conversation. It's funny because I was having a conversation with myself yesterday about this same topic. And I was like, if I had to talk to my nephews about this topic, what would I tell them about someone playing the role to be who you said you wanted? Because you're online telling people what you're into and what you like, and they're like, yep, 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 yep. And then they try to put on that character. I said, if I had to explain that to my nephews, I would simply tell them, be patient. They can't fake it forever. Just be patient. Like if it's not sincere, it's going to start to give weight under the requirement of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's the same thing. Even though Mike is trying to protect me from this, and I'm like, I will move at a pace that will put, I won't put him to the fire. That was gonna be rough. That will verify for me if it is sincere. No, Mike.
Okay.
No.
Burn these hoes.
Golly. Okay, okay, so Rashawn said, if I tell you my love indicators, then they do it just to play the part. Okay, that's what she was saying. Portia said, that's why you give it time, because eventually the act will end. Yes. And so that's why I'm not so much worried about those morphing people. I think that, again, if you're in a rush, like the Bible says, those who rush miss their step.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a rush, then you can succumb to that kind of manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that, bro. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. So we got that out of the way. I want to play this next video. Jesus, that's gonna have to wait.
While you looking for that, I want to put up this real quick. Portia said that consistency has killed so many what does it say? So many potential relationships in the past couple years for me. Yeah. Or lack thereof, she said. Yeah.
So look at this, man. This is kind of what we touched on a little bit. I'm gonna move this little funny video to later if we have time, because I got a different direction I want to go. We got 15 minutes.
Let's get it.
When we talk about coming from two different cultures and two different norms, check this video out.
One of the biggest challenges early on in my marriage was the fact that I grew up in a me family and my husband grew up in a we family. Let me break that down. In my family, everyone had their own roles, responsibilities, and duties. You are accountable for what you do. If you do not finish a task, the task will still be waiting for you later, and you are the one person that is responsible for taking care of it. In a me family, you are literally trying not to be the person that is inconveniencing. You don't want to not finish a task or not do something and cause an inconvenience for everyone else. Growing up in a me family can lead to overfunctioning and functioning through hardships because you feel like no one else is going to do it if you don't. It can lead to hyper independence as well as hyper accountability. My husband, however, grew up in a we family, and so if he sees tasks that are not finished or not done, he will just do them without being told to do so. No one is keeping track or keeping tally on who's responsible for what, because as a family unit, it just needs to get done, and whoever has the capacity to do it at that point is the one that's going to take care of it. Meshing these two worlds together became more challenging when we had our own family, when we had pets and we had children, we had other responsibilities outside of what we typically had before. I tend to run on a list that's in my head that tells me of the things that I need to take care of, and if I don't take care of them, it could be followed with shame or guilt. Whereas my husband sees a task that needs to be done and is just going to do it. But because we're doing things differently and we don't see things the same way, there's inconsistencies, frustrations, and disappointments and annoyances that can happen. I had to learn that you absolutely can have a sick day. You can just not feel good and not finish a task, and it's not going to be the end of the world. It's still going to get done with or without me. Because he saw, if you are not okay, then we are not okay. Go lay down, go take a break, go on a trip. And I had to fight against my instinct to feel like I was failing or I didn't take care of what I was supposed to be taking care of, and that's my responsibility. And also feeling like I'm not an inconvenience or a burden to someone. But in a we family, taking care of each other and taking care of the household that you share is not an inconvenience.
Where do you come from, Mike? A we family or a me family?
Dang. I feel like I experienced both sides of that growing up. Like I had me, my sister, my mom, and my dad, but I feel like I was partial me and then partial we as well. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's shown up. Both sides of that have shown up, especially in this marriage that I'm in now. That's so interesting. I never even really thought about it that way. Huh. What about you?
I think that for me, it's always been. I think you can tell by now. I love the idea of a family unit.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a wife and kids since I was under the age of 10. So
Yeah.
something about the collective for me has always been a big deal. And if there's something that needs to be done, like when I was a kid, if there's a chore that needed to be done before my mom got home or all the kids were on punishment, I don't care whose responsibility it was. I'm doing it so that I can go out, but it was considered an investment in the we. And I think that even, you know what I'm saying to you, like in my day at work, in my friendships, I still carry that. If it's something that needs to be done, I'll inform the person like, yo, you should get this done. If you have time, let me know if I'm partnered with you in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just sit back and be like, well, I did my part.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anybody who feels that way, but I know that that's not where I came from. So what happens if I, wed a woman who has a me family type personality, and then either we're trying to work together and she's like, well, you said you was going to. Well, babe, you knew I had to work late. Well,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have said you was going to. It's like, golly. All right.
And it can, and like the young lady said in the video, it's something. It's the type of relationship where you guys come from polar opposites that can work. It just may need a lot more communication to get there.
Let me ask you this then, because since is your military buddy. Rashada said, definitely a me family. The military gave me we.
Okay. Boom. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because even though me and my sister were in the same house, I feel like we were still raised as a me family. You know what I mean? Like if she didn't get chores or something done, oh well. And then we have a bit of a age gap between us as well. So I always grew up not necessarily feeling like it was a we type of situation, but definitely, I didn't even think about that. I feel like that's where my we side came in, was military for sure, because it's one person don't do something, everybody getting punished, or one person does do something, everybody could possibly get rewarded. You know what I mean? And you never wanted to be that guy to let everybody else down. You know what I'm saying? So you're always thinking about, like you said, the collective.
So again, as we're having this conversation about dating that moves into marriage, I love these conversations because I think it gives people a better understanding of some of the conversations you should be having prior to getting married. Some people are like, well, I guess it'll work. I like them. I love them. We're compatible. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in essence, you can make anything work.
Yeah, you can, bro. And then you have to have some. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, it was a but. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you there is a but. But I feel like, there's also just grace and leniency to allow your partner to do life the way they do life. Like for me, I don't feel like me and Janae come from like two like polar opposite as far as the way we were raised, but there's certain things that I did growing up into adulthood that I adopted as norms that are not norms for her, and vice versa.
7-bedroom house.
Right. So you see the difference, right?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air over there.
Wow. I don't know why you do this every Sunday, bro. You know you're finna see her tomorrow. That's crazy.
She gonna press me again. I already know she
is. Yeah, she did. I was nervous for you that day. Golly. Nah, but so like for instance, she talks to like her mom and her dad damn near every day, every other day. That's odd for me because as much as I love my parents, I don't talk to them every day. I don't feel a need to talk to them every day. You know what I mean? So in that regard, and in some other regards, I say they're a lot more family oriented, like with cousins, and you know what I mean? Just all of the things, which is not necessarily how my family is. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things, and we've had this conversation, us talking about wanting to have kids, like we got to have some conversations about that, because as of right now, we just have Denim. And that for all intents and purposes and legally, Denim is my kid. So before Janae even came along, I had Denim by myself since he was 3 years old. So the way I've been parenting is what's been happening. So if now Janae comes into the picture, I have to be more open. I have to be more understanding that, okay, maybe she wants to implement some things that maybe have helped her growing up as far as parenting goes. And I have to be open now that that's my wife to be okay with some of those things, or at least hearing her out.
I think that's a good point to make, because in some cases, subconsciously, we're thinking like, this is not your child.
Mhm.
Even with all the nice gestures.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to have someone with a heart like Janae and an openness like yours creates a beautiful dynamic for a denim.
Yeah. Facts.
Because anybody whose child is can easily be like, no, that's not for you. That's not your concern. I think that the kind of communication you guys share and the chemistry that you guys have when it comes to caring for one another is created a beautiful dynamic for denim, but also it helps her strengths to be able to have room to shine in that marriage. And it
Yeah,
also
man.
gives you the relief that you probably didn't think you were going to get from the next person.
Clip that. All of that is good. Golly, you read that whole situation, nigga. That was good. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because it's always been I've never wanted to be in a marriage where denim, where my wife kind of like fell into the background as far as parenting. And denim only looked to me as the single source of parenting when I'm married to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So to have, like you said, how she is and her heart posture to now come side by side with me in parenting, and denim legitimately looks at her as his parent, you know, is amazing. And like you said, the second part to that was just having that somebody to be able to share the weight of parenting, which I didn't think I was going to get because I haven't thus far. You know what I'm saying? Is also an equally a blessing. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, that was good. You might be on to something with this coaching thing.
Listen, man, I hang out. I pay attention. Nah, honestly, God just be showing me stuff. Real time. I like this. I have one more video to play for tonight, but I like this conversation. I think it's extremely helpful because for me, the single friend, finding my way, you know what I'm saying to you, but moving with a grace that I used to only extend to others, that I'm now extending to myself. Worried about, like, I remember after my last relationship, worried about, man, is my picker off, and hard on myself about, like, what did I do? Like, listen, I'm in a place now to where when I look at these relationships that I've been in, my understanding is that they did what they could do. They did only what they could do.
That's it.
I'm just like, my job is to reflect, find the character growing opportunities, apply them, and continue to stay on my path.
Yeah, brother.
Some things circle back. I'm not resistant against that. Some things never show up again, and there's no kind of residual like parting gift to go with it. And things can only do what they can do. If I know that I've contributed the way that I really intended to, while giving myself grace, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
That's a fact.
But with this last video, man, I thought this was an interesting one because I think that sometimes we do have a tendency to talk to I think when our therapist came on, a hyper Christian audience. And there's certain beliefs that Christians hold. And I thought this was not controversial, but it was a little off from what most Christians believe about how to choose and who to marry. And I like this woman's, I sent this to like 3 of my friends to see what they felt about it, who I would call, women of God, who are embedded and like they know scripture and all that kind of stuff. So I want to share with you guys tonight to see what you think.
So God called you to marry a prodigal. He called you to marry someone that doesn't really know him very well. A lot of people don't understand this because a lot of people have the regular love story where they met in church. The person was already on their way to be a pastor. The person was already on the way to knowing who God was. Their establishment was already set. But there's some people, right, that are like Hosea in the Bible that are called to marry the prostitute. Hosea is a man in the Bible that was literally called to marry a prostitute named Gomer and to love her with the love of God For some of us, that's our story. That was my story. I was called to marry the prodigal. I was called to marry the one that did not know God very well. But God used me to plant a seed in that man and to fast for that man and to stand in the gap for that man and to learn deliverance prayers and to heal myself in the process of learning more about God for myself on behalf of that person. If that makes any sense, you can't help but to get closer to God if all you're doing is, well, praying and seeking deliverance and learning about the kingdom of God. A lot of people won't understand. I get comments all the time saying, no, you're wrong. When God sends someone, they're going to know all the scriptures. They're going to be riding on the back of a horse. They're going to be that man of valor. That's not everybody's story. It's the majority of people. That's not their story. If you ask a lot of pastors, a lot of prophets, a lot of deliverance ministers, etc., how their love story started, you would be surprised to know that a lot of them were drug addicts in the beginning, that a lot of them were out here in these streets. Yeah, that there was infidelity that they had to forgive, that there was a lot going on. You know, we are sinners. And when God calls someone, and not just someone, when God calls Hosea to love a Gomer, it's holy work, no matter what you think. And for those that are in a Hosea and Gomer type of situation who, you know, you're called to marry the outcast, the crazy one, the sheep that got away, God bless you and your work ahead. God bless your soul, because you are literally being an extension of Jesus Christ's body. You are being his hands and feet. It's hard, it's lonely, and it's ghetto. But at the end, you wouldn't even believe the man that I met versus the man I got right now. And who I am today. I know more. Listen, trust the process.
What you got, bro?
Oh, man. Jesus. First of all, I think the real test that God gave to your boy was marrying a woman named Gomer. Nigga, you listen, God, I can't do that. What? If you so y'all, you telling me you and your wife is in the bedroom.
Yeah, come on.
She tells you, she says, say my name, and y'all in the bedroom, and you gotta call her Gomer. Nigga, please. This is nigga, you don't knock it off. That's the whole problem in itself, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on an episode of the podcast. Godly.
Nah,
we're gonna finish the whole conversation next week.
Gomer, God, that's rough. Nah, so you know that definitely hits extremely close to home for me, and I know for Janae as well, because I had a lot of just unchecked emotions, unchecked feelings, unhealed trauma. You know, one foot in the relationship, one foot out. And I've mentioned our full story before on the show, but you know, it does take special women and special men to be with the prodigals, as she called them, or to be with the people that maybe, you know, your reputation is so bad nobody wants to even touch you, to even, you know, to even get to know you, because I didn't heard you was with such and such, or you know what I mean. So you know, it's a calling, but what I really want people to really get from that video, if nothing else, as beautiful as that video was, everybody ain't called to do that. So don't think that you're gonna get out there and, oh, I'm gonna love him into the type of man I want him to be. And everybody's not called to walk that path, because it's a difficult path, and it takes a special kind of strength that only God can give you to be able to withstand all of them darts that the devil is going to be trying to throw to really get that person to where God wants them to get.
So, as you said it, and I think as Portia said it, and as one of my other friends said it when I sent to them, I'm not called to that ministry. You know what I'm saying to you? So, I think that the way my brain works and the way that I'm wired, you know, I think that it does open me up to different kind of opportunities for certain people who may be a little harder to reach, or who, you know, feel unloved. And I just want to keep that in check, that it's not the Captain Save a Hoe mentality coming through versus, you know what I'm saying to you, like God is saying, like, and I don't want to say that God is saying, because unless I hear him say that through very important channels, sometimes you just want who you want, and you're just asking God to bless it.
Yeah, well, for sure. Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I think Magellan said it, to be careful calling it a calling.
Yeah.
She said it's ghetto out there.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to appear, even though some people try to make it appear that way, that whoever you choose, there's some very unique spiritual partnerships that you're going to be involved in, because from my understanding, marriage is about a continuation of a refining that can't happen in singleness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? And so I think that even with that, wherever you found yourself or whoever you found yourself with, the necessary channels are always going to be there to collect the data, take it back to God in prayer, and hear clearly what God is saying. Do it. That means you do a 3-day fast of just water. I know a few couples who've done, once they found out they like somebody, do a 3-day fast from each other. What doesn't work is ultimatums.
Ever.
But I would say whatever it is that you believe that God is calling you into, really lowercase calling you into, I think that just to walk in it with a sober mind.
That's good.
Understanding that there is supposed to. That's a tough one. It's good that it hurts a little bit. Or a lot. Because I was working on this video for one of my friends, and I said one of the most important relationships that I recognized at my age that I had to develop was my relationship with pain. My tolerance of pain, or my pain threshold, has been the main reason why certain goals that I've set go unreached. The goal was intended to separate me from an old version of myself, or a lesser vibration that I was connected to.
Yeah.
And the process of removing me from that or evolving past that can be painful. And if I can't endure the pain, then I'll never, experience the evolution. And I think that it's understanding that pain is not suffering. Pain could, in a lot of ways, be your partner. It could just be evidence that the process is working. And I think that understanding that, especially when it comes to matters of love, which is usually we put our mindset in the environment to where this is all just going to be soft and it's all going to taste like candy, not knowing that there is a unique refining that is intended to happen in this place. And it's nothing you didn't do, nothing you did wrong.
Right.
It's just a continuation part of bringing you to a full glory of what life could be, if you can just endure, like the Bible says, a little long suffering. So
yeah.
No,
that's really good. I don't know. I think you.
You think what?
We appreciate you working with us, Portia.
Yeah, sorry, Portia. What is it out there? 12?
Yeah. Yep. Nah, so you and I have I don't, that what you were saying about you don't think that you're called to love that way. I feel like your and I relationship has been tested, and you could have easily been out, but I feel like you felt that you were called, or you had a duty to this brotherhood to fulfill whatever it was that you felt that you were supposed to fulfill, and you stayed. When a lot of people, and we had a conversation in that moment where I'm not used to stayers.
Yeah, I think that, and this could be a pro and a con. I think most things just don't hit me the way that it hits other people, to where it's like, oh my God, how could this happen to me?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of other things hit me a lot harder. And so this ain't one of those things.
I feel that.
Shit.
I feel that. Matter of fact, nigga.
Sometimes you catch yourself, nigga. And I think that, I don't really share a lot of those situations too often, but when people wonder how I can do X, Y, and Z, I'm like, that's nothing compared to.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I think that that's like, even like with military, like they train you guys in some such harsh conditions that when you get into the battlefield, it's like, this is very doable compared to what I had to go through prior to coming here. So anyway, sheesh.
Talk about it.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on another episode of Maybe This Will Help the podcast. We'd like to leave you guys with a resource. Portia, if you're still with us, this is what we do at the end of every podcast. We leave a resource and then we pray out. But the resource we always leave is the suicide prevention hotline. Maybe something we said tonight did trigger you or got you in this headspace or in this emotional space and you want to get some answers, some help, some support. Call 988, or you can text it, or you can go online and chat with someone live. We've had plenty of people from the podcast reach out to this number. They do give resources. They do follow up. They can connect you with a therapist or a support group, or just get you reading material, video material to help you with, maybe suicidal ideations, or maybe trying to learn how to be a better communicator, or your child is going through puberty and you don't know how to be, how to parent them through that. Whatever your situation is, you can call that number and get help. Never think it's too small. And I always say that just because you care doesn't mean you know how to care. Sometimes you need someone to say, hey, in these kind of situations, it's best to approach it this way. So screenshot this, send it to a friend who may need it, or just save it for yourself.
That's good, bro.
Yeah. You got anything else, bro, you want to say before we get out of here?
Oh, man.
Rashonda said, great show as always. I love my internet brothers.
That's good. That's good. Nah, man, I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm about to get out here. Girl.
Father God, we thank you so much for this opportunity to steward this platform. For those who came and showed up, we do pray that, man, somebody was helped. We know that we were, but we pray that somebody else was helped. Even like with Rashonda, hashtag this helped her. Whoever was helped tonight, including us, continue to have these conversations with us after we get off this podcast tonight, so that it could be solidified in a very specific way that's unique to us, that we can have a practical step to take after these revelations. We thank you for those who will contribute to us staying online by going to our Cash App. We thank you for the people that will come that haven't heard conversations like this yet and will be, blessed in a necessary way. We're not here with any gimmick, God. You know that. Not even trying to be relevant, Father God, just trying to be honest. And so we just thank you for giving us an opportunity to do this work. And may we all just rest well tonight, have an encounter with you, wake up in the morning well rested and ready for whatever the day may bring to us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen and amen.
All right, bro. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for showing up tonight. And until next time.
2 Chainz.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me, baby.
Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your name.
Maybe this will help.